Yeah. Or, oh, is corn tall, me small. That was the quote. I'm ready.
Welcome to the Corn Corner podcast. I'm Wicked Wren, and we got a walks like a duck, quacks like a duck kind of situation.
I'm Cam Damage, and do you have the new John Grisham?
And today, we're talking about something you do alone when you're in a space of waiting for time to pass in order to board a flight.
Maybe a train.
Maybe a train, maybe a lift.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
We're talking about reading in an airport.
Maybe a milk truck.
I don't think you would ever read waiting for a milk truck, not a mode of transportation.
It's a bit of a niche reference to a planes, trains, and automobiles kind of situation, but do you know that movie?
I don't know it.
Well, that's
Jurassic
not surprising.
Park?
Yep, close.
Like we previously mentioned, today's episode is all about the act of being alone and reading literature.
Just being alone.
In a terminal.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Terminal?
He lives in an airport.
Not by choice.
It's with the Castaway Man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Correct.
I remember that the reason why I really remember a lot about this movie is because I remember him bathing in the bathroom of the airport.
Yes.
And being like, that is vile.
Well, he didn't have another choice. It's perils of immigration for you.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
So he couldn't leave the airport because...
He's like stuck in a hole. It's actually kind of like a really fucked up...
Wow.
Anyway.
What did he eat?
Airport food. Sbarro. I don't know.
Do they have those at the airport these days?
Yeah. For sure. Still. But more importantly, what they do still have are books.
They have books. Are you a Kindle reader or a hard copy reader?
I like a hard copy. I don't like reading on my phone, like a Kindle or whatever device. I'm not a fan of that. I want the physical act of turning the page.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I find that the phone is used for so many other things.
Yeah, and it's so easy if you're reading on your phone or tablet or whatever to like switch to some like go to a text or like whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're reading a book, the phone is down.
Yeah.
So you're like engrossed in the book, and you're present in that.
I agree.
Thing.
I agree. Do you plan your books for the flight?
What do you mean?
Like you have a flight coming up. You say, I need the book.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always in the midst of a book right now.
Love that.
Yeah.
Look at you, little bookworm.
I'm reading a Clive Barker compendium kind of thing right now. That's a bunch of short stories. It's really good.
So you're just like, hey, this is the book I do the opposite, where I'm like, oh, I got this flight. I want to read this book.
Yeah. But what if you don't finish the book on the flight? Then what happens?
Generally will pick things that are small enough to where I can like finish a chunk or something.
But then does that book only exist for flights?
No.
Sounds like you don't really plan for the flight then.
I reread a lot of books too on flights.
Like, what? That's weird to me because you don't read a lot of fiction.
I don't read a lot of fiction.
So like you're just reading like these like, are you gleaning new life lessons from these? Okay.
Yeah, like you can reread things with new context of life.
I guess, yeah.
And get things. You
so
know?
What's the most recent thing you read on a flight? Fucking liar.
Probably so there's these I think it's Harvard Business School. Have you ever heard of Harvard?
I was recruited by Harvard.
Wow.
That's not a joke.
Well, I wasn't.
And then I went and I was like, I'm too dumb to go here.
And you weren't. I'd like to be clear.
I was going to be the lowest GPA and SAT score probably on the team had I gone there. And I would have lowered their little team. They were stooping low to bring me on is what it was.
Well, you were a good field hockeyer.
Yep.
A center? Guard? Forward?
Point guard?
What did you play? What position?
I was usually like right mid, right defense.
There you go.
Whatever.
Anyway, I think it's Harvard. They put out these like they'll be like
Y'all heard National Lampoon.
They'll take like 5 or 6 articles that are on a subject, like leadership or something, and they'll put them into like a little book, and there's like many volumes, and so I think one of those, I think it was maybe the leadership one or something, and it's just cool because they're like, they'll just talk to people and they'll write these little articles and they might be 10 pages long, so and you just kind of can read these little nuggets.
So are they
it's probably that?
Are they people the people that are cited in the articles or that they're written by or whatever?
It's people that,
not that you know personally, but like, you like Malcolm Gladwell or whatever the fuck, that kind of shit.
I wouldn't say I know of these people until I read it.
Yeah.
But like a lot of them is like diversity and inclusion specialist, talks about whatever, like how to do better inclusion in an organization or whatever, that kind of thing. So no, but the topics are good and important.
It's just, this is like where we diverge so strongly, and I've talked about this like several times with you, on written literature and our consumption thereof, is that you read things that are like very much applicable to real life, good educational things to build how you interact with the world on things like that, and then I'm over here reading about gay guys who go bang in a field and then get interrupted by some weird, crazy cult town versus town thing where everyone gets massacred. Like,
and that's hard for me.
Yeah, like books are an escape. It's not escapism necessarily, but it's a fantastical suspension of reality for me for a minute.
As I'm starting to like write music and stuff, I'm starting to realize like I need more
fantasy.
Yeah. So like whatever. So something I've been doing is I have some books of like prompts and quotes. Like I have this one that's all like, they're like very like feminine based quotes. Like it's like
you go girl.
That's it.
It's
pretty
just
much.
That shit.
Yeah. No, it's like I don't know, whatever. It's just like these like little musings.
Yeah.
And so I'll like read a musing and then I'll like write about it.
Yeah.
And that stuff's been really cool for me.
I'm so curious what an example of one of the musings is, because all I can think of is the terrible cliche things.
It's none of those. It's actually done really,
That's
really
good.
well. I can't remember the name of the book. Maybe it's like, I don't think it's Portrait of a Girl. I don't know. Isn't that something else? I don't know.
Portrait of a Girl?
Isn't that
Portrait
something?
of a Lady on Fire?
I don't know.
That's something. That's a gay ass movie, is what that is.
But it would be like, like I'm trying to think. I don't remember the exact thing. But it was something like I buried the pain of the something, but then I watered it and it grew flowers.
So
like
it's,
that
it's
kind of
pseudo
thing.
the things I write for my memes.
Very much
when I'm like coming up with the words myself.
Yeah, or it's like
probably less depressing, but
or it'll be like he can talk to the whatever, but he'll never be able to this. Like, and they're all really good.
Good, empowering things.
I don't think that they're very cliche. Like they're actually like really like a lot of them. I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome.
It's also hard we come from a place of being so jaded and wanting to feel that things are cliche and cringe.
Yeah.
When they don't have to be cringe, just because it's some whatever people would perceive it as silly, maybe feminist empowering quote thing. There's still like good stuff in there.
Yeah.
And that's in me writing my little meme things, is being some part of me like a year ago would have been like, this is stupid. This is so cringe. Writing this stupid little thing about love and my feelings, whatever. But no, I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? If you take something good from it, then it's good. Like, it doesn't matter that much. Don't overthink it. I don't know. There's a story, this is not related to that, in the compendium thing. Most of the things I read, you can't read. Because
too fucking
you get
dumb.
Because it's above you.
Yeah.
It's that little woman brain. It's a biological difference.
I just tell you, hey, I try.
When I get the Sara Lee cookbook, I'll give it to you.
God. I'm gonna spit out my liquid death.
It's good stuff.
Hey, thanks for sending us this.
Thank you, Dane. Cheers.
Tastes like water, but hey, it's a little fun.
But it's got bubbles and good branding, and that's what's important.
That's what's important.
This infinitely recyclable can of Stone Cold, one of my favorite wrestlers.
You love that.
Sparkling water clawed its way from deep inside the earth to murder your thirst.
Wow.
So
we got to put an advisory warning on this one because that's a little bit scary.
Sorry. I put on my scary voice. I could do a scary voice when I read the rest of it. Once cracked open.
Can we hear it? Let's hear a little scary voice.
No thirst is safe from liquid death. After ritually dismembering its thirst victims, this brutal can of water used the severed body parts of dead thirsts to build itself a flesh suit, which is used to disguise to a great job in marketing. Wow.
Oh my God, I'm scared.
Anyway,
that's scary.
You can't read the stuff I read because it's scary.
Yeah.
Because you get scared really easily, which is funny because I've tried to have you read some things and they're not actually scary. It just has some depictions of war. and
it's just
that's
unsettling.
Too much for you.
It's unsettling.
Yeah. But there's one in Clive Barker is a horror writer. He wrote Hellraiser. It's not called Hellraiser. It's called The Hellbound Heart. But what the movie Hellraiser is. Yeah. But this is a compendium of short stories, and there's one in it called, I think it's just The Yattering and Jack, that I think you'd really like because it's really funny and cute and doesn't have, there's some like upsetting one or two times, but it's not a bunch of body horror is the point.
Yeah.
And it is just funny and has a cute kind of like dom sub ending.
Oh, cute.
But I'm trying to get more people to read that one because I'm like, it doesn't have to all be terror and flesh peeling.
I'll read it. If you get me, I'll read it.
It's sweet. You could read it in bed tonight or something, but
okay.
And you wouldn't be too scared to go to sleep because it ends in a very fun way.
All right. Well, kind of like a Goosebumps book.
Yeah. Where it's like, it's a little scary, but it was just some eggs that went bad.
Yeah.
So I don't really have to be scared. It's not going to happen to me.
What was the twist in the dummies that live in the attic? Were there really dummies that live in the attic for Goosebump?
Yeah. Didn't they just come to life?
Yeah, but what was the nice twist around it?
I don't remember. I don't remember any of the nice twist takeaways of stuff.
Because that's the thing about them. They weren't too scary. Or maybe there's a whole... No, I think what I'm thinking of is that there was a whole genre of those Goosebump book that was like not so scary. And they all had little surprise endings that were like...
Were they nicer Goosebumps books?
Yeah.
Were they choose your adventure books?
No, I think there were some of those. But this was like... a less scary Goosebump book, and it was like at the end it was just they were dummies but they were nice or something, like
really wrap it up with a bow on that one.
Yeah, like something
and
like
in
that.
the end they just wanted to be friends with the Barbies.
Yeah, and they put their differences aside. And then that kind of thing.
It's good.
I actually think that might be,
we'll have to look it up after this.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah. Now let me ask you something.
Okay.
More importantly, when you are in an aeroporto, or a similar, can't think of the word. Try to think of a big word for it.
Like
anyway,
like a flight station.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I know.
And you are reading a book. Mm-hmm. Do you feel superior to those amidst you who are not reading a book?
Of course.
Good.
Yeah. Duh.
That's the answer I wanted. Same. If when I get into my seat on the plane. And I
pop that book open. Yeah.
Fuck all of you.
Yeah, and you got people taking out things like a
you putting your little pad up on the thing with your little doohickey that you bring just so you can watch the thing on the plane.
Yeah, and I'm miserable at the book. You're playing, You
got Flappy Bird over there.
Yeah, and you're having a great time playing Flappy Bird. And I'm sitting here trying to read my book.
Slog through this chapter.
Yeah.
So I can feel literate.
I'll tell you what else makes me feel really good is when I go through TSA and I'm just so efficient.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm like when you're waiting for the people ahead of you that just suck.
Yep.
And you already got your laptop out.
Yeah.
You got your shoes already off. You're ready to rock.
Yeah.
You already know what bin organization you're going with.
I got my stuff in my little baby backpack purse already.
Yeah.
My phone's in there. I'm not checking that thing anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm ready to get through it.
Yeah. If I can not check a bag. Psh.
Can I tell you about something that is a little bit difficult that I haven't really figured out yet.
Being trans.
That part is hard.
At an airport.
That part makes my life a little bit hard. But
gotta get pre-check.
I was gonna say we do. I was gonna say, so my clear ran out.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with at this point. I don't care. I think that it did more for like my ego than anything.
It makes sense.
I really do, because like you skip the line, it just feels so good.
It does.
But I let it go because I kind of evaluated and I was like, I think there was one. I think like when you and I were flying back from Florida, it helped because that was good.
Yeah.
Sometimes leaving Seattle, that airport is insane.
Yeah, I needed clear in Seattle.
I would say Seattle is always really busy.
That's the only airport that if someone asked me when they should get there without clear, I would say 3 hours ahead of time.
That airport is
for like a domestic flight.
And they always kick you to the other lines. They're like, oh, go to this one, and they're all
you
shit.
say no.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. Did I tell you about last time I was with my sister and her kids, and we were going somewhere together because we were all flying out, but going to different places.
Disney?
No, because they were going home and I was going on a trip or something.
Home.
Sorry. Okay.
They were going home.
They were going home.
Home.
They had to get back to Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Anyway.
But they did the thing where they kicked us to one line, and I was like, all right. And then we got to the next one, and they tried to do it, and I literally was like, no, we're staying here.
Yeah, good.
I was like, they kicked us down from another one. We'll just wait here. And the person was like, okay, but it's going to blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then we were through it in 5 minutes. And I was like, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, sorry.
I was going to say that. So, but LAX is like, honestly, I don't have any problems with LAX.
I don't even use Clear when I go to LAX because the lines are so fast.
So, so I'll let it expire. But now I have to take out my ID again and give it to the person.
Yeah.
And I feel that one is kind of hard because I take it out and then it's like hard to get I want to get the ID back into my wallet, then put it into my little backpack purse and then zip it up, and then put my little bitty back purse in my bag.
And so much to happen right before you get to,
So I haven't figured, and like the idea of taking my ID and then putting it like in my pocket, terrifying. It needs to be in a secure place.
Yeah. One time you put it in your shoe.
Yeah. And that was like, and it was because I wasn't following the script.
Yeah.
I got away from fundamentals.
Yeah.
At the airport.
You got to stick to the playbook.
So this time you're talking about is you and I went
to top surgery.
Oh, and
it was on the way to top surgery because there's this whole thing of the rental car, which I had to put in your name because I don't drive.
Yeah.
And blah, 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 blah. And I'm great at problem solving and I'm great in a crisis. So we handled it.
We did, but I couldn't find my fucking ID.
Yeah.
And I thought I lost it. And I was like, this is insane. But I put it in my shoe.
Yeah.
And it was because I was just like I don't know. I was just kind of.
It's also crazy to me that you had a fucking ID in your shoe for a long flight.
It's because the California IDs are so thin.
Oh, I forgot that you didn't have a Washington one.
They're so thin.
Yeah.
They're like paper.
That's California for you.
Have you ever seen like a loose leaf paper?
It's
a lot like it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm still trying to figure that out.
We just need to do TSA pre-check. Because even with Clear's if anyone doesn't know, if you're transing your gender and you use Clear and you change your name amidst having a Clear account, you cannot change your name on the account.
Yeah.
It's like impossible. I've gone up to the people. I've called so many numbers.
Wow.
I've emailed several things.
Really?
Yes. There was a day that I committed to trying to fix my Clear shit.
That's crazy.
And it was like, oh, you have to call this one, call that one, be on hold for 45 minutes. Actually, it's this one. Oh, email this, whatever. And there was no way to change my name to my legal name now. So I go through Clear now, which I still have until I get TSA PreCheck. And I say, my name doesn't match my Clear account to my ID. And it's a huge coin toss whether the person is chill and gets it when they see the old name and the new name. Or if they're like, go up to the dude, she has 2 IDs, and I'm like, fucking look at me, asshole. Like this is what we're doing. Like yeah. More often than not, they're cool though.
Do you remember when we asked to retake our pictures because we both had bad pictures?
It was so cute.
And that lady was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And we like took a couple. And I was like, nice. I got one I liked.
I don't even think we asked to take them. I think we both commented how much we hated them.
Yeah, and she was like,
you want to do it? Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We were like, I love you. Yeah.
I feel like that's another thing I really strive for is to look hot in my ID pictures.
It's important.
Like my license picture is
good.
One of the best photos
good
of me.
I need to get a California license still, but my one from Washington was like really soon after like being like boy mode.
Yeah.
So I went in just being like and was like whatever, which kind of worked.
Yeah.
But the one for clear was right after top surgery, literally the way home from top surgery. So that was like, I was like, yeah. And now that's like the picture where I have like weird bluish side swipey hair. So we need to get on pre-check though.
We do. And it also lasts forever.
Oh, it does?
I mean, it lasts for like 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Or
That's
something crazy.
I don't know why I keep not, like, you need a passport or like
because you have to go in and do
a whole thing.
You have to, it's just like, you just got to go in and like, I think you might have to do an interview, but you got to drop off paperwork or something. But it's worth it. It's fully worth it.
Let's just go do that together sometime.
We should.
Because there's nothing more, we've gone away from books, but in the airport experience, for me, there's nothing more stressful than when you go through the body scanner.
Yeah.
And it's like, the question of, is a guy or a girl gonna step up to me to pat me down? Because I always get patted down.
Yeah.
There's never a time that like I just get through and it's good to go usually.
Yeah.
So it's like, guy step up, sick. But then I have to lower my voice by like an octave or two for him to be like, all right, I gotta pat you down here. And I'm like, all right. Because it's happened before that's happened. And I'm like, okay. And then they'll be like, and then the one time, do you remember I yelled at a guy?
Yeah, I do.
Because he was like, they were stepping up to pat me down, and I said something. He was like, "Oh, we'll get a woman," and I was like, "No, you're the right person."
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I
the stress of it all.
Yeah.
So if you have a trans friend that gets stressed about flying,
the other thing that we can do,
be gentle,
is we don't have to take our shit out of our bags.
Oh, I know. You don't have to take your shoes off. You don't have to take your computer out.
And that's what we need to do.
Yeah, it's great. I'm gonna put it on my little to-do list.
We really need
to
do it
together. Back to books, though. Have you ever bought a book in the bookstore at the airport or in the Hudson News, whatever the fuck?
So I went through a phase where I was doing that pretty exclusively.
Oh,
like it was
like that was your means of getting books?
No, it was something that I kind of like worked into the airport experience where I was like, I'm gonna go to the bookstore and I'm gonna get a book at the airport.
Yeah.
And then I'll read the book throughout the trip or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I started reading those like little Harvard-y like collection of essay things. I saw it at the library, the fucking bookstore there. But then I started using the fucking library because then I realized like, oh, this is free and I pay for it with my tax dollar.
Yeah.
And it's fucking free. And I don't have to own 87,000 books.
I think that's a hard one for me.
So I just go to the fucking library and I just get the book.
I usually just get used books and then I take them back to the bookstore.
So the thriftbooks.com.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's what most of mine are.
Yeah, and that's what I do now.
Yeah.
But then I realized I was like, the best thriftbooks.com is the fucking library.
Where it's free.
And they don't have a book, you just ask them to get it. And then they get it.
It's
fucking great.
But I also am weird with my books. Like I like getting my collectors.
Yeah, see, I don't care about that at all. I just kind of want to like.
I don't read the collectors ones. I like having them. Like I mean, some of them are gifts, but over there's one of the original first editions of The Stand.
That's cool.
Like, got me, which is like sick. I don't know.
But yeah, I used to do that a lot, and
so it was always like what's the last?
No, I would get like
I remember the last one I bought in one because it's been so long since I've done it.
I hate to say it, but I think it was a Malcolm Gladwell book.
Yeah, of course it was. Fucking nerd.
Also,
you outlier.
I think it was that. I bought what's that bone salt fat or something like that?
Acid fat.
No. It's an autobiography from Gabriella something.
I couldn't begin to know.
Whatever.
A chef woman?
Yeah.
It's
awesome. You should read it. It's fucking great.
I'm not gonna, but
you would love it.
Do you want to know what the last autobiography I ever read was?
Martin Short?
That'd be good. I would. read a Martin Short autobiography. It was Chuck Liddell in college. It was like called The Iceman. And it was when I was like heavy in the like UFC, WEC, whatever shit. Yeah. And I was like, I just love Chuck Liddell. I don't know why.
Was it a cool autobiography?
Probably not. Yeah. I don't remember, but I remember reading it. Like I like read it like front to back like one day and was like sick. But I was like a huge fucking bro idiot.
Yeah.
In my 2 first years of college. Like, but that's the last. I have not read an autobiography since then, and it's just been fiction, whatever.
Hers is cool because I read Shoe Dog, which is Phil Knight's.
I don't know who that is.
He like founded Nike.
Oh, huh.
And it was actually, I remember reading it and I thought it was really cool.
I feel like from
I realized
a business
now it might be really bad, but it was pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, that's like there's people that like terrible capitalist, awful, like whatever minion driver people. I don't want to say the other word. I don't think it's appropriate. Anyway. You know,
I don't even know the word you're trying to say, but hey, we're going to move on.
Yeah. Like, there could be something to learn from reading a Steve Jobs autobiography.
I do think that there are, honestly.
Like, even if you're like, that's an evil man.
Like, yeah, actually, I do think that, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you fully. Like, I watched, do you know who Jack Welch is?
It sounds familiar.
He's like, touted as like the best CEO in the world, and he essentially what he
Is
did.
Jack the Twitter guy? No,
he was GE's CEO.
Okay,
and essentially what he did was like GE was an awesome company, and people had like full pensions from there. They would work there forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah,
and they would retire, and it was great. Then he came in, and then he cut the fat out the bottom, right? Quote unquote the fat.
Yeah.
So then he made it hyper competitive. People got laid off.
Yeah.
And all these things. So like he put profits over people, essentially.
And did like huge factory layoff things and stuff like that. Yeah.
So like from the numbers perspective, he was said to be the best CEO in the world. Yeah. From an actual like humanity
capacity,
he was a piece of shit. Yeah. And then people like Steve Jobs, like all these companies after did that. Yeah. And then they started being like, you know, I want you to, at the end of the day, tell me who the bottom 10% of your departments are. We're going to lay them off.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jack Welch has a book, and I read it, and I was like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
But it actually, I think I was happy that I read it because I got to pick out little pieces of like, God, that's so fucked up. And that like helped me.
It's good to know how those people think.
Yeah.
And like how these awful people are approaching the world and see people like us kind of or whatever, the working class, and it gives you the insight to one up them in some way maybe in your brain.
Well, I think it's just like you're just kind of like, I think it helped my like worth.
Yeah.
I was like, helped my view on worth. But
all that seriousness aside, the last book I bought at the airport, which was probably years ago now, was Dr. Sleep, which was like actually one of the first, it was like second or third Stephen King book I ever read.
Wow.
Because I was a late comer to the Stephen King game, actually.
A late bloomer.
But then we made it a special interest and went hard, as you know.
Did you know that that's a movie now?
Yeah. It's good.
Isn't it? I thought it was a Marvel movie.
I'm like...
I thought it was. I thought it was with the
How?
Who's that guy you like? Benedict Cumberbatch?
He's not in it. Ewan McGregor is in it.
No, I'm thinking of.
I don't like Benedict Cumberbatch. You're thinking of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the same movie.
No. You've seen Dr. Sleep. We all watched it together, and Corey made fun of it because of the being baddie wearing athleisure.
When?
At my Seattle first house. It was one of the cuddle puddle on the couch, but Corey was there.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, it was a time. It was a time ago. And it was a time also.
That was a long time ago.
There's a lot of but it was the period of time when I was like, everyone's got to watch my favorite movie.
Okay.
And I show it to people, and you know, sometimes you're the only one that appreciates your favorite movie. And that's why it's your favorite movie.
That's your favorite movie?
No, not at the time.
Oh, okay.
No, my favorite movie is like Prisoners.
The Shining or something?
I don't.
Prisoners?
Yeah.
What is that?
Come on. I've talked about that movie so much.
Have you really?
Yeah. Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal. Actually, right now, Nightcrawler is probably my favorite movie, which is another Jake Gyllenhaal.
Damn, that's a good fucking movie.
Yeah, God. Watching that the other week, and like, that was like the 20th time I watched that movie, but I was still like, fuck.
It's
God.
good.
There was like a whole Twitter thing recently that was like, what's your most problematic like your most problematic person that you'd bang? And someone posted Louis Bloom from Nightcrawler, and I was like, fucking right. Like, yeah that's same. Like,
God, when he goes in that house at the end.
When he's like the one he kind of breaks in-ish, whatever.
Kinda. I mean, 100.
Yeah,
yes.
he did. Yeah.
1000%.
Just any of the talks he has with Riz Ahmed's character.
Yeah.
Where he's like, God, there's one part where Riz Ahmed asks for a raise in the car, and he like can't come up with a number because he's so like whatever. And he says it, and Jake Gyllenhaal's like, you got it. And they handshake, and he's like, I could have asked for more, couldn't I? And he's like, absolutely, but we sealed the deal. And like everything he does with like, a friend is a gift you give yourself. Like, it's so psychotic and fucking amazing. Anyway, Prisoners is the one with him and Hugh Jackman, and there's that scene with Paul Dano bloody against the wall and Hugh Jackman slamming the sink. I've made memes of it recently on my page, but it's just, and Jake Gyllenhaal is he's a detective Loki, and he's got that great slick back brown hair, and he does this blinking thing like a character choice.
I think I need to see it.
God,
I don't think I've seen it.
I would love if we could
Let's
watch Prisoners tonight on the old. It's a serious movie. It's a heavy movie.
I think we'll have to just watch it.
I would love it.
Okay.
That'd be great. What if we just made Discord watch Prisoners?
We can do that.
Everyone ready to have a bad time.
Trigger warning, everyone.
Yeah. Kidnapping.
Is there a book about that movie?
No. That's just a...
Maybe you should write the book about it.
I don't think I think the book wrote itself, and it's a movie by Denis Villeneuve.
Wait, the book... There is a book about prisoners.
I'm... The
movie Prisoners.
No.
Oh. I thought you just said the book wrote itself than the movie or something.
I'm just saying that they made a movie, so it's there. You don't need to...
You could be a book adaptation.
I was going to say, it's like when we were kids and they would do like a book adaptation of kids' movies. Like there's like this movie... Oh, yeah. There's a movie I really like called Surf Ninjas when I was younger. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's real good. And I posted about that in my story recently too. But they made like, and then there's the book adaptation.
Gotcha.
That kind of shit.
Did you fly as a kid ever?
Yes.
Did you read a book on the flight?
I don't super remember. I probably was more playing Game Boy once they had backlights.
What did you play on Game Boy?
I really liked fucking Link's Awakening was my favorite always. It's the one Zelda one where he wakes up after a shipwreck.
Oh, okay.
And
is that on Game Boy Advance?
No, not Game Boy Advance. It was on Game Boy Color.
I remember the Game Boy Color.
I had the purple C3 one.
I think that was the only one that they made of it.
I'm gonna bust him.
You're not gonna bust anything.
I'm not gonna do it. I don't hate these dogs. I love them too much.
Hey, these dogs, I love them too much.
Maybe a little swat on the rear. No, I really like that one, and they redid it for Switch, and you should play it. It's so fucking fun because it's really the art style is really cute.
Oh,
that'd be super fun to play on stream. Actually,
okay, let's do it. I think I'm about playing Breath of the Wild on stream.
It's too much for me.
But that's kind of what I like about playing games on stream. I'm realizing is that I have to play it. Like I'm there to have to. I realized I was playing Odyssey is like some of the things I don't like doing, but I'm like, oh, I have to do it.
Yeah,
and it's kind of fun. So I think I'm going to play games like Breath of the Wild because Corey says that it's amazing. It's
it is. Games. It's gorgeous and super
but it's
cool.
Overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming.
But I think that might be good for a stream because there's a fixed amount of time to spend on it.
I'm someone when playing games, I don't like entirely open world. Like I like a game where there's you get to explore, you get to open all the chests, you get to do side things, but there's still a set path.
Yeah.
And Link's Awakening is a side loader. So like it's a very set path. Like there's these grids on the thing and you do the thing, whatever. But, you know, I like BioShock and stuff like that where it is technically an open map, but there are boundaries. in that map.
Yeah.
But Breath of the Wild is like, yo, this is a fucking world, and there is not any like.
That's pretty stressful to me.
That's a lot. Like I think the farthest I've gone with that kind of one is like Red Dead or something like that. I'm not very good with those things. Anyway, I don't think I was reading books as a young, but maybe once I got into middle school, high school, traveling, was reading books on planes.
I liked the Animorph books.
Yes.
But I think I like the covers more than anything.
Absolutely. That was the same, I think I've talked about on here, Kay Applegate, who wrote Animorphs. Trans ally. Queer ally. Yeah. That's a huge thing.
How did we get that person on the pod?
Probably not too difficultly if it was like a Zoom call or something. She seems really cool.
We should... Do you follow him on Instagram?
I don't know.
Are they on Instagram?
I don't know. She's older. Like, she's an older woman.
We should.
We'll look into it. I'm legit about that.
That could be amazing.
That would be sick. She wrote a side series not related to Animorphs called Everworld that I was obsessed with when I was a kid. It was this weird fantasy Norse mythology intermixed thing where kids got like yanked into this like Norse mythology world and had to do all this shit like against Loki or whatever. It was.
We got to remember this. We need to reach out to her.
Put it on the notes again, along with TSA.
Because that'd be so cool. Do you think
reach out to K.A. Applegate?
God, that's so funny.
If you were an Animorph, what would your animal be?
Probably a bird, so I could fly in the air.
That's what I always think too. Like I want it to be a wolf.
Yeah, but
that's for usefulness, yeah. Like if I could be a crow or a raven,
would be cool.
Well, that's intensely limiting.
Yeah, but it's for the water only.
Yeah, but then like if you're a bird, you could use it any time.
I would like to be a bird. I think.
Yeah,
just be eagle maybe
because then you could just travel. Yeah.
Did you know that birds are quite light? They look heavy, but they're actually quite light.
Because their bones are hollow.
That's right.
Yeah. Did you know all their business comes out of one hole?
Wow.
Yeah.
Something you don't learn every day about birds.
Pee, poop, egg, all of it.
Wow.
Cloaca.
I'll tell you, that's a miracle of life, everybody.
Yep.
If you'd like to experience a miracle of life, head on over to the Patreon / the Corn Corner. And there's nothing better than the Patreon for you. Except the Twitch stream.
Which is our new favorite also.
At RenCorp LLC.
Yeah.
You're going to love it there. You're going to love to subscribe. You're going to love to support us financially. You're going to do your fiscal duty to the old Corn Corner.
To sum this one up, do you wish that you read more? Like, that's my one complaint about. Boop. I like reading at the airport because I feel like it's the space where I really don't have other responsibilities. No. That's why I like traveling alone, because we're here.
Yep.
Here and now.
Love it.
And it feels like reading is right because I don't have a lot of other shit to do. I don't want to be working, so I can just read. And it's like, oh, thank God I can finally focus on reading. Do you wish that you had, like, I wish I could do that at home.
Yeah, it's hard at home because you got the computer, you got all the whole things there, yeah.
And, like, I'm going to sit on, like, zone out on my phone versus sitting and reading.
I think the big issue is, like, I go through periods of reading, like, I'm either a heavy reader or I'm not a reader. Yeah. Right now, I'm not reading at all, but it's because we've started streaming. I've started doing other things. So it's like the way that reading works for me is I have to be like ready for bed. The phone is in the other room.
Yeah.
I'm in there and I'm like reading at night. Yeah, like.
But that goes haywire for me because in the like not that long ago, a few weeks ago, I'm back trying to get my reading groove, and I accidentally stay up to like 3 reading because I'll be like, just want to finish this chapter, just one more chapter.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't experience that where I'm like, all right, it's time for bed. But I don't know. For me, it's more about like routine. Right now, I don't have the routine that.
I want to get back into it. Maybe we'll read tonight, and I'll make you read that.
All right, I'll read it.
A little short story because it's nice that they're like finite, whatever.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like audiobooks. I just want to go on the record.
Oh, I don't like audiobooks either.
Can't do it. Can't do it anymore.
Well, everyone, Thank you. Thank you so much for having us in your life.
Yeah.
Having
in
us
your homes, in your ears,
in your cars,
in your vestibules.
Well, everyone, on that note, there's a lot of different kinds of corn, but no matter what kind of corn you are, make sure that
is kind corn.
That's right.
Enjoy liquid.
Enjoy it.
Recycle. RACYCLE, recycle.
Anyone?